Puppet Labs provides data center automation software that helps our customers move faster and get a lot more done in a lot less time with a lot lower error rates. So you bought all of your servers, all of your devices for a reason. Our software helps those things do what they're supposed to do. You bought a server to be a web server. Our software will take that machine, that server, physical server, virtual server, and turn it into a web server for you. And when you need to update it, you need to update the software, add new content. You can use Puppet to go do that work for you. So instead of you going to each of the individual machines and doing things manually, you can rely on us as both the engine for getting the work done and the automation for doing it repeatably and very, very fast.
There's a lot of people out there that have been ops guys where it's like, oh, you want to scale? Okay, let me buy some servers and plug them into a rack. And when you've got a virtualized infrastructure for one, and then you start automating it with Puppet, you can turn things up in minutes, where it used to be months.
Puppet gives us the ability to influence those servers in a programmatic way that we can actually control rather than the series of bash scripts or things that we've been doing in the past, which they may work, they may not, and the feedback loop just isn't there. So being able to track how things are rolling out across their server fleet really is pretty helpful to us.
So I think one of the most interesting things about the IT automation space is the speed at which things are moving, as well as the different kinds of infrastructure that folks are managing with Puppet Enterprise. Now, my team gets to build the modules that manage a broad set of resources across IT environments, and that could be things like Docker containers or images running in AWS or Azure, or Red Hat Linux, AIX, and Windows servers on on-premise data centers. But it's also about support for storage and networking devices from the likes of Cisco, Juniper, Arista, F5, EMC, and others.
A critical part of providing coverage across an entire infrastructure means that we need to work closely with data center vendors. So think EMC, VMware, Dell, Cisco, Microsoft, HP, Huawei. A big part of my job is to ensure that we're coordinating our efforts with those partners to provide a tool that allows customers to effectively automate the management of their infrastructures.
Yeah, in 2014, we were able to record just over $1 million saved through Puppet, specifically through our DevOps cycle, which is our development teams, our QA environment, our release engineering, and all of our middleware teams.
In our old model, it took several weeks. And with Puppet on top of automating the underlying infrastructure in the cloud, we deliver it now in about an hour.
Before we used Puppet Enterprise, it used to take us days to be able to roll out a new release across our entire fleet, dealing with over 100 servers. Now it takes a matter of a few hours.
So we had metrics for the length of duration for the deployment, and those shrunk from the orders of 10 hours to 10 minutes.
And in the past, these migrations had taken up to 3 or 4 months with 3 to 4 engineers at any given time working on it. And what we realized is when what we call puppetize these systems, that migration that we recently completed only took 18 hours. So when you try to figure out how much time that was saved, we saved $100,000 in man hours in just that one migration. So those are some of the things that we continually see success with Puppet.
Before Puppet, the average sysadmin spent far more time firefighting and responding to major problems than they did doing the deep, interesting strategic work that their organization needed them to do. But with Puppet, and with the tools and the ecosystem we have, you as a sysadmin can spend the majority of your time getting the critical work done. You aren't getting paged all the time. You get to sleep well at night. You get to go home at a normal time. And when you're at work, instead of spending all of your time being yelled at because something is down, you get to focus more on shipping software than on responding to fires. You get to focus more on getting the best technology in front of your users, saying yes to your customers, saying yes to your partners in the organization, and a lot less time worrying about when you ship software, is it going to be secure? Yes, it will. Is it going to be stable? Yes, it will. Are these 1,000 machines all built in exactly the same way if they need to be? Yes, they are. Not because you personally spent all the effort to make sure it worked that way, but because you've got fantastic software that will do all that for you.